What if a single decision could change the course of an athlete's international career? Today, we explore the fascinating journey of Malik Tillman.
Hey, it's Garrett here, feeling curious as always.
And I'm Leah, super excited to dive into today's topic.
Welcome to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
All right, here's where we begin. Malik Tillman, a name that, shows up in club football highlight reels and in big U.S. moments on the international stage.
Totally. And the hook today is simple. He's a dual national attacking midfielder whose choice to represent the United States unlocked some pretty epic moments. Here's a thought I've been turning over. I've got a dual national branch in my family. Holidays were this blend of languages, foods, and stories. So when I look at Malik choosing between Germany, where he was born, and the United States, which he was also eligible for through his dad, it just clicks for me. Belonging isn't always a clear line on a map. It's where your opportunities and your identity line up. That decision shapes who believes in you, who calls you up for big matches, and honestly, how you see yourself when you pull on a shirt with a crest.
That resonates. And to me, it's also about timing. The window where a national team says, "We see you, we have a plan, come be part of this." For Malik, that timing mattered, and it's written all over his career since 2022. Let's open the book on this. Malik Leon Tillman, born May 2002 in Nuremberg, Germany. He's an attacking midfielder, which basically means he links the midfield to the forwards, creates chances, and scores. Think of him as the connector who finds pockets of space, carries the ball, and either picks the pass or takes the shot.
And right now, he plays for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, Germany's top league, after a 2025 move. Internationally, he represents the United States. When you hear the term one-time switch, that's a FIFA rule allowing a player who's eligible for more than one country, as long as they aren't cap-tied in competitive senior games, to pick a national team permanently. Malik made that choice in 2022 for the U.S., and he debuted shortly after against Morocco. Quick integration, for sure.
He's also got that set-piece edge. Set pieces are dead ball situations like free kicks and corners. His later free kick goals for the U.S. turned into some truly headline moments. We'll get there.
Let's dig into this from the start. He came up at Greuther Fürth, a German club known for youth development, before moving to the Bayern Munich Academy in 2015 alongside his brother, Timothy Tillman. Timothy, by the way, now plays in MLS for Los Angeles FC. Two brothers on parallel paths. That's pretty cool, right?
At Bayern, Malik rose quickly from U17 to U19. That pace is a signal. Big clubs don't bump you up unless your technique and decision-making hold up against older players. By June 2020, he makes his professional debut with Bayern Munich 2 in the 3 Liga, Germany's third tier. One note we'll circle back to. Reports disagree whether he started that day or came on as a sub, but the date and the 2-0 win are solid.
From there, the senior team moments start dropping in. In August 2021, DFB Pokal, Germany's national knockout cup, Bayern versus Bremer SV. Malik comes on at halftime and scores in a 12-0 win. Scoring on a senior debut, even in a lopsided cup tie, is a big confidence marker. Then later that year, he hits the UEFA Champions League stage against Barcelona. Short cameo, huge stage. You don't forget that.
He's part of a title-winning Bayern environment too. Bundesliga in 2021-22, plus earlier Super Cups. Those medals come while he's still becoming a regular pro. It's like getting your graduate degree while already embedded in a world-class lab.
Okay, here comes the turning point. In May 2022, he filed for that one-time switch to the United States. FIFA approved it at the end of that month, and he debuted for the U.S. in June 2022. That is a rapid embrace. It signals the U.S. staff saw him not just as a prospect, but as a near-term contributor.
Switching gears just a little, club-wise, he goes to Rangers in Scotland on loan in July 2022 with an option to buy. Rangers is a pressure cooker, right? Massive expectations, European qualifiers, every weekend counts. He scores a crucial Champions League qualifier header in August 2022, and then again in the league days later. By the end of that season, he's PFA Scotland Young Player of the Year and in the Premiership Team of the Year. Peer-voted awards matter. Your opponents and teammates saw the impact.
Then it's PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands for 2023-24, initially on loan from Bayern with an option to buy. Quick definitions. The Eredivisie is the Dutch top division, very attack-forward, and an option to buy is a clause letting the loaning club turn the deal permanent at a pre-agreed price. He scores on his Eredivisie debut in September 2023, notches a Champions League assist in October 2023, and keeps stacking end product. PSV activates the option in May 2024 for around 12 million euros, and Bayern includes a buyback clause, basically a right to repurchase later, of about 35 million euros. Smart asset management on all sides.
And the silverware hits. PSV wins the Eredivisie in 2023-24 and again in 2024-25. Back-to-back titles, he makes the Eredivisie Team of the Season in 2024-25, which is a league-wide nod that you weren't just good on a good team, you were one of the best in the whole competition.
Meanwhile, internationally, he's building reps. He's part of the U.S. side that wins the 2023-24 CONCACAF Nations League. CONCACAF is the regional confederation for North and Central America and the Caribbean. Then during the 2025 Gold Cup, he scores his first 2 senior goals for the U.S. against Trinidad and Tobago in June 2025 and adds another versus Haiti later that month. That stretch lands him in the tournament's best sign. That's a legit breakthrough.
Here's where it gets really interesting. In July 2025, he transfers to Bayer Leverkusen for a reported 35 million euros on a 5-year deal. It's described as a club record-level fee and noted as the second highest American transfer at the time. The record phrasing can get tricky. Sometimes clubs announce joint records depending on add-ons, but either way it screams major investment. And in August 2025, he scores on his Leverkusen debut in a 3-3 draw with Werder Bremen. Debut goals just seem to be his thing.
Then the World Cup in 2026. He's named to the U.S. squad in May 2026. In July 2026, in the round of 32, he curls in a direct free kick goal against Bosnia and Herzegovina at Levi's Stadium. That ends a 32-year drought for the U.S. at World Cups. No American had scored a direct free kick there since Eric Winalda in 1994. Winalda, by the way, is a former U.S. striker known for that rocket free kick against Switzerland. Malik gets man of the match. Massive moment.
And he follows it up a few days later, in July 2026, with another direct free kick goal in the round of 16 against Belgium at Lumen Field. The team loses 1-4, but back-to-back knockout free kick goals are rare. That's specialized skill under pressure, and it changes how opponents defend around the penalty arc. You can't foul casually when someone like that is standing over the ball.
So at this point, his profile is clear. He's a key player for club and country, he's proven in set pieces, and he's navigated that classic modern pathway: elite academy, loans for playing time, permanent move with buyback leverage, and finally a big transfer back in a top 5 league. Yeah, that checks out.
Okay, let's move on to a lingering question that lives in the fine print. In June 2020, his professional debut for Bayern Munich 2 happened. Some sources say he came on as a substitute, others say he started and played 57 minutes. Those are mutually exclusive statements. Why does this matter, you might ask?
I'd say it matters because firsts become part of a player's story. Starting your debut versus coming on late signals different levels of trust from the coach. But I also think the right move is to go to primary sources, official team sheets or minute-by-minute logs, to settle it. If they disagree, flag the ambiguity instead of pretending it's settled. That's something to chew on, huh?
I get that. Real talk, though. Fans often remember the feeling more than the fine print. Still, accurate reporting protects the integrity of a career arc. It's like a case file. If the first page is messy, you keep second-guessing every detail after. So the responsible thing is to say, the debut happened, the team won 2-0, and the exact role is disputed until a definitive sheet says otherwise. Why do you think these mix-ups happen?
A few reasons. Live coverage layers can get crossed, translation quirks, or post-match edits that overwrite earlier notes. Smaller league broadcasts sometimes lack exhaustive documentation compared to the Bundesliga or Champions League. It snowballs when one outlet copies another without rechecking. That's why I'm big on citing the uncertainty. Not gonna lie, I wish more databases highlighted conflicts in bold red so we all knew to tread carefully.
Same. And while we're here, another nuance point, that Leverkusen fee being labeled club record level and tied to timing with another signing. Financial reporting can shift depending on add-ons or later disclosures. When the language is fuzzy, say so. It doesn't diminish the fact that 35 million euros is a serious statement. Topic's relevance in culture-wise, I keep imagining a documentary series that follows dual national athletes at the exact moment of choice. Cameras off the pitch, walking them through calls with family, meetings with federations, and the emotion of seeing your name on a new squad list. Malik's arc would be a perfect episode. Germany's academy polish meets the U.S. promise of roll and runway. That contrast tells a human story.
I'm down for that. And you'd weave in family context. His dad served in the U.S. Armed Forces and was stationed in Germany. His mom is German. That binational home life frames the decision as more than just a career move. It's identity, heritage, and opportunity intersecting at once. Counterfactual time. What if he doesn't file the one-time switch in May 2022 and continues with Germany? First, the U.S. loses a genuine set-piece weapon. Those World Cup free kick goals don't exist for the U.S., which changes knockout math. Set pieces are leverage points. One swing of a boot can tilt a tie. Without him, maybe those moments never materialize.
And for Germany, he's competing in one of the deepest talent pools on earth. Midfield is crowded. He could still break through, but the pathway might be slower or narrower. He might get fewer early tournament minutes, which could also impact his market value. Here's where it gets interesting. Do you think his transfer to Leverkusen happens on the same timeline without the U.S. spotlight?
Maybe not the same timeline. The U.S. caps meaning official international appearances, plus Gold Cup output and World Cup free kicks raised his profile right before 2025. Even PSV's permanent buy and his team of the season nod stand alone, but the international fireworks accelerate attention. If he sticks with Germany and waits for sporadic minutes, the narrative might be more cautious. Leverkusen still values his Bundesliga fit, sure, but the fee and urgency could be different.
So in that alternate world, the U.S. is searching for another direct free kick taker in big games, and Malik is vying to stand out in Germany's senior setup. The butterfly effect here is real. Different shirt, different song, and yet the core of his game, ball carrying, timing late runs, technical finishing, still translates. It just might have unfolded on a slower burn.
Stay curious, folks.
And keep exploring new stories with us.
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.